Next on Worcester News Tonight, a decision on the city manager's contract, how city councilors voted at tonight's meeting. Plus, tracking Hurricane Matthew, a look at when the storm could hit the Atlantic coast and if it will make its way toward New England. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Andy Madison. We begin tonight in Worcester and tonight's city council meeting where the city manager's contract was brought up again. And this time they voted to offer Ed Augustus an extension. The city council voted 9-2 in favor of a 3-year extension, which will make Augustus the city manager of Worcester until 2020. City council started late tonight due to an executive session to discuss the matter. The city manager has gained a lot of support while in office, which prompted the offer to extend his contract.
And as I think everybody knows, is we just went through the city manager's evaluation, and predominantly the council spoke very highly of him. I mean, he's done a tremendous job for the city of Worcester.
Ed Augustus has been the city manager since 2014. Now to Hurricane Matthew, which could cause an issue for several states along the Atlantic, including the New England area. The Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency says they are monitoring the storm's path, and there's a possibility Matthew could make landfall in the Bay State as a hurricane. Watches have been issued in Florida as the storm is expected to make its way up north from the Bahamas over the next few days. The latest advisory from NOAA has the storm arriving in New England on Sunday. There's still a lot of uncertainty about the storm's path and where it could go as it makes its way north. Meanwhile, an aid group from Worcester is keeping a close eye on the storm as it makes its way through Haiti. The Be Like Brit Foundation is a nonprofit that serves children in Haiti. It is named after Brittany Gangle, a Rutland native who was killed in the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. Alicia Palumbo spoke with Brittany's parents today and has their thoughts.
As Hurricane Matthew slammed into Haiti early Tuesday morning, watching closely back in the Bay State were Len and Cheryl Ann Gangle.
Children are safe?
Yeah.
Talking by satellite phone in Worcester to the director of their orphanage in Haiti, the Gangles are checking in every hour on the 66 children, staff members, and their families riding out the storm there.
Last night, we rescued 51 people whose houses just blew apart.
Devastation at the hand of a natural disaster is nothing new for this impoverished Caribbean island nation. In fact, it was back in 2010 that the Gangles' 19-year-old daughter Brittany was killed in a catastrophic earthquake while on a missionary trip there.
When this was happening with Brittany, we were on the other side and wondering what was happening, what was the building like. So it's resonating a lot of feelings for us right now.
Realizing Brittany's dream to help the people of Haiti, the Gangles built the Be Like Brit orphanage to withstand natural disasters.
Having lost our daughter, it was of the utmost importance that Cheryl Ann and I design and build a building that has the same seismic standards as San Francisco.
While Hurricane Matthew will certainly be a test for their building that they're monitoring through Facebook videos like this one.
A couple roofs we've seen kind of blow off.
The Gangles know there are families riding out the storm in shelters made of sticks and tarps.
My heart goes out to the people outside the walls who are fighting for their lives right now.
It's really hard to imagine when the storm passes what we're actually going to see.
Cheryl Ann was actually in Haiti with 14 volunteers this week and had to make the difficult decision to evacuate on Sunday. Len was scheduled to go there on Thursday. Obviously, that trip was postponed, but the Gangles say they plan to go back to Haiti as soon as possible. In Worcester, Alicia Palumbo, Worcester News Tonight.
We checked in with the Gangles earlier this evening, and they say there's no major damage to the orphanage, and the children and staff are safe. The eye has passed the area, but the storm hasn't stopped. Well, thousands of people in Worcester area rely on public transportation to get to where they need to go. With that in mind, today the WRTA unveiled a brand new 156,000 square foot facility to make sure those buses are better taken care of in the future. Rosalind Flaherty reports.
Oh, happy day. We finally did it. It's done.
A new $90 million transportation maintenance and operations facility is unveiled Tuesday. The Worcester Regional Transit Authority says this new building is key to keeping up with the maintenance of buses.
This building is really more than a facility.
It's an essential ingredient for the success of continuing to move people within the city.
The new building on Quinsigamon Avenue is replacing the original on Grove Street, which is more than 80 years old.
The old facility literally was built for trolleys, when you had horse-drawn trolleys. So you can imagine now that we're using electric buses that are different and have different kind of needs in terms of the servicing them.
The building was partially funded through a $39 million federal grant. Meanwhile, the state provided a $19 million grant to help with on-site contamination cleanup.
While it was expensive, it was important that we were able to get this area cleaned up to benefit of not only the WRTA, but the neighborhood and the city as a whole.
This is infrastructure that is necessary.
Congressman Jim McGovern says transportation is an important part of the economy, since a lot of people rely on public transportation to get to and from work. The new building will house 52 buses and 14 vans, with enough room for up to 75 buses and 28 vans.
It certainly needs to accommodate all types of transportation, for young students to young professionals to aging seniors that need accessibility to bus transportation to get them around.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Also in Worcester, the city is cracking down on all-day parking at the public library. Officials are restricting parking at the Francis J. McGrath Municipal Parking Lot next to the library to 3 hours. City says the change is intended to open more spaces for library patrons. People who need to park downtown for the entire day are being encouraged to use the new Worcester Common Garage. National Community Policing Week is underway. To kick off the event, Dudley Police Chief Steve Wayner visited children at Mason Road School. Chief Wayner met with students in the first grade, explained his job, provided safety tips, and gave each child a trick-or-treat bag. The goal of the officer-friendly program is to minimize the fear and apprehension children may have about the police. Classic pictures of the Worcester Auditorium on display tonight at City Hall. Tonight's exhibit is one of a few taking place this month spotlighting the Worcester Auditorium. Some of the pictures showing the auditorium space and also highlighting several historic events there. The screenings of 2 silent films are scheduled for the auditorium later this month. Well, the first high-resolution Cryo Electron microscope has made its way to New England. It's here in Worcester. UMass Medical School revealed the new machines Tuesday with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Doctors say this technology will help them better understand some major diseases. Our Brittany Schaefer has the details.
I'm very excited.
The first high-resolution cryo-electron microscope in New England is now at UMass Medical School.
This equipment allows us to view how biology works in the cell at much better accuracy and efficiency than any other technology before.
Those kind of structural information was very useful for all kind of the research.
UMass Medical School's Brian Kelch says the old equipment didn't allow scientists to view the atoms clearly. Therefore, the new technology will further their research in many diseases.
It was like we had very bad eyesight, no glasses, and we were at the back of the room.
Kelch says the microscope will aid in finding causes of diseases and even help drug developers.
Many diseases and cancer are caused by defects in those processes. Now we can see them in atomic resolution,
including HIV and the Alzheimer's disease with the plug in the brain and the structure and the cause about it.
To find cures to diseases. I mean, ultimately we want to find a cure to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease and cystic fibrosis and cancer.
This $11 million investment was funded by the state and by local nonprofit grants. But Kelch says the knowledge scientists can reveal from these machines is priceless.
This is incredibly important. It's going to improve the quality of life for people, ultimately, and it's going to save us a lot of money in healthcare costs, too.
So to help to treat the disease and to develop the new drug, this kind of thing.
This facility is really for New England to come together, both academic partners and industry partners, to help to aid in human health.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Well, it's a store that's been in business for several months in Worcester. It's always packed with customers who leave with several items, but it hasn't made a profit. That's because everything in the store is free. Yes, you heard right. It's free. The name above the door says it all.
We've just kind of, opened up the doors, been a place for people who have things that they don't need to bring home and people who need things that they don't have to take.
Books, silverware, clothes, plants. If you see it, then it's yours, free of charge. Kent Flowers came up with the idea for the Worcester Free Store, which opened in March. And the store has received plenty of donations.
None of this stuff's my stuff. None of this stuff is the volunteer stuff. This is just random people who have brought stuff in.
Generally, it's either people that just bring stuff in, personal donations. And we also, the Westchester Recycling Center helps us out a lot.
Customers can take as many as 10 items. Donations are welcome, but not required. Dave Warren is one of several volunteers at the store. He met Kent while working at a demolition company.
Kent just had the idea, and I, wanted to help him do it, so.
An idea which has grown in popularity in Worcester. Sharing generosity with items you don't need money to buy.
Lots of people need stuff, and we figured, hey, why not be, the guys that give away the stuff for free that people need to live, so.
It is called the Worcester Free Store, and it is open 3 days a week, one of them, of course, being today, Tuesday, here in